all information has a source, so where it comes from. And depending on where that person is in their reality and what reality they're experiencing will determine what information they will provide. So if they're trapped inside delusion, all the information that stems from them will be stemming from delusion. If they're talking about their reality. If they're talking about the reality they came from, then it will be stemming from the previous reality, which could be the one that's universally accepted by everyone, or it could be a separate reality that may be higher or lower. The higher realities can see deeper truths in this world that are hidden, and some may be so great of a truth like faith and understanding faith and walking in faith, and it sounds like it's just believing and it sounds like delusion, but it's different. When you're using faith, you're using a power, and that power comes from whatever your faith is in, and only up to the level that it can provide, and you how open you are to using it. And everyone has like a connection they start out with when they're alive and they're born. So using faith is like using your original access to your higher spiritual self or another spiritual being. And delusion and false belief are believing in a separate being that has no connection to you and trying to get a connection from them, and it usually ends up with curses and backlashing or nothing happening at all. You're lucky if nothing happens. And a lot of people think nothing will happen, and you're lucky. You're lucky if nothing happens, because usually curses will happen in response when you try to go to another being that didn't manifest you into this world. So if you go higher up beyond all beings to the true God, then you start to bypass all curses, even when they start to curse you. And delusions and mental illnesses, diseases, plagues, all these things are curses. And sometimes when you're protected, they can't do certain things to you. But if they get you to believe, and you have a power of belief, and they get you to believe something is wrong with you, then they try to manifest something wrong with you that way. And the power of belief is a powerful thing, because it could cure cancer within the body if you believe you're healed, and also cause cancer if you believe you're not. Because your belief affects you in more ways than you think. It could change how your body operates and how attentive your body is. And it's not just powerful on a physical level, it's powerful on a spiritual level. So this is a pretty long message, but I wanted to make sure I help y'all understand. The information is valid when you know where it's coming from. If you think all the information is coming from this reality, then you're wrong. There's some coming from a higher reality, and some coming from a lower reality, and some coming from a kind of a alternate sideways reality. But once you locate the root of it, then it starts making sense. And when you understand which path leads to what, then you understand the information of what you're hearing. Because when you're told something is backwards, evil is good and good is evil, then you know they're in the valley. They're in the backwards path. They're moving further away from God. And they're in those darker valleys. But not everyone's like that. Some people are trapped in those realities. Some people are just bad, but they're not in that reality. They're still grounded in this neutral reality. But when your reality starts shifting and changing and delusion starts taking over, then they will turn pure evil if all they know is evil, and they will enjoy it, and they will get their energy from it because they're trapped in a backwards reality, and they'll feel more drained from good. When you're in the mountains, you feel more uplifted from good, and you feel more drained from things that are bad. It's not that hard to understand. It's not that complicated. But when you go through it, it's kind of scary. And you start seeing entities that you normally wouldn't think would be there, like pure darkness entities. But remember, in scripture it says Satan will appear as an angel of light, not as a dark being. So I'm not sure what that dark being was. They were nice. They were waving at me. They're probably trying to guide me out of the valleys. So I figured my way out, but I had to go through a whole bunch of trouble.